Okay, today I'm going to walk you through the network blending UI I built. I built this both for StyleGAN 2 and StyleGAN 3, but because StyleGAN 2 is just a bit simpler than StyleGAN 3's architecture, I find it just more fun to use. So I've already gone ahead and set up the libraries, downloaded the pre-trained models, and set up the blend functions. But if you're running this on your own, you don't really need to use Google Drive, so you can just reject those permissions and move on. So the first step is really to select which models we want to blend. So we're starting with the FFHQ 256 model. This notebook only works with 256 pixel models, but it could easily be extended to support larger ones. And for our destination model, we're using a model I trained off the FFHQ model for fun little Pokemon, which I did really with no goal, but has been fun to play with. So these two options here are to run a new set of training if you'd like to have a different set of images to blend with, and also the option to work with image projection, which I'm not going to do in this little mini tutorial, but has some interesting results. So just to get to the fun part, here we have what I call easy blending. So when I click play, it basically takes this seed here and generates a blend between the models at layer that's marked layer 8. So we can just open this up and change the switch and just see how moving between different layers affects the output image, which is pretty fun. And what's also great is that there's this little should invert button, and we can get these really interesting human Pokemon blends, which I find quite interesting, but some people find kind of off-putting. So that's easy blending, and sort of what I like to do is work with the easy blend to get an idea of what's possible with the model, and then scroll down to what I call fine-tune blending. So basically, these are controls over every one of the layers for the 256 StyleGAN model, and we can start moving them around and trying to get to an endpoint that we're excited about. So I was into the swap at layer 8, but I'm wondering if I play with these dials, if I can get a little bit closer to what I call a pokey person. So this now we can control, and originally it was either at this point or at this point, but we can move this to somewhere more interesting to maybe recover the eyes but keep the Pokemon aesthetic. So I won't go into this too deep to keep this moving, but that's basically what these fine-tuned controls allow you to do, and you can really just click around and have fun and see what interesting results emerge. And the last thing is this little experiment I'm calling overblending, and this is the ability to move far outside the 0 to 1 values with these sliders. And it's just an experiment to see what happens if you kind of blend outside of what's sort of reasonable, kind of in the spirit of network bending, and you can get these really wacky results. So this first image is the original, the last image is the final Pokemon. This third image is if we clip the values between 0 and 1, and this second image is sort of the overblended result. So we can give it maybe the extreme aesthetics of the Pokemon, but overshoot the face structure, and maybe just give this one in the middle. And we just get different options. And really the goal of this whole notebook was to have meaningful human control over the outputs of what these deep neural networks are doing, and also to gain a better understanding of how these layers work under the hood. So that's network blending UI for StyleGAN 2. If I hop over to the notebook for StyleGAN 3, you'll see that it's pretty much the same structure, source model and destination model. And the biggest difference is that instead of just a handful of levers, there's 15. So while you might have more control, it's a bit more complicated to understand the actual impact of each slider on the final image. Yeah, that is network blending. Thanks.